working on a 24-ounce plump from the Still Magnolia. I will have a discount code linked in the description for you guys, and also my brand new tumbler wrap template I call Icing. These are all made to fit the plump series from the Still Magnolia. If you use a different brand of tumblers, you will need to purchase the size that is closest to the size of tumbler you are using and resize accordingly. I am only going to remove the vinyl around the template, and then you will be left with this rectangle shape. Cut off a large enough piece of your transfer tape to make sure the whole design is covered. Once your design is covered with transfer tape, we're just going to take that backing on the back of the vinyl and remove about an inch or so, folding it back. I also just got this brand new tumbler tool. There will also be a link for you in the description from Cami Page Boutique and a discount code for you guys. This is so helpful with these wraps because this little part right here makes a straight line on your tumbler for you, so you can just lay your vinyl wrap right on that straight line and get a perfect wrap every single time. Once you get your vinyl on that line absolutely perfect, fold it around your cup just to double check that the pattern will line up correctly. Once you have done that, we're going to start removing the backing on the vinyl, and if you've seen me do this before, I just pull a little bit off the back and then rub my hand up and down on the cup, slowly around, pushing any creases or bubbles out until you have almost reached the beginning. When you have gotten close to the beginning, we're going to remove an inch or two of the transfer tape so it doesn't overlap with our pattern vinyl. Now you can remove the rest of your backing on your pattern vinyl and just lay that pattern vinyl right down evenly to make sure that all of your lines match up and the pattern is flawless. Now decide what parts of this template you want to glitter, and there are 3 sections, well, technically 5 sections, but I'm going to glitter the top and bottom, and right above and below the top and bottom is an extra little wave, which that's why it reminded me of icing, and that's why I named it that, but I'm going to leave that one on and just remove the top and bottom section. Now at this point, I'm going to show you, 1, how to tape off if you don't feel comfortable being super careful around your vinyl, and 2, how to be super careful around your vinyl. So since this pattern has a wave, the best tape in my opinion to use is electrical tape because it has a little bit of stretch, so it's super easy to get it to curve. We are just going to tape off the section that we want to protect from epoxy, glitter glue, and or glitter glue and glitter. And how I do that is I just take it and I just pull the tape really taut until it follows the curve of the vinyl. On the bottom section of my tumbler, I'm just going to leave it and show you how to just go around very carefully, because there is a little section on this template that we're going to remove anyways, so it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit of paint, glitter glue, epoxy, and glitter on it. You know me and my love for chalk paint, and so today we are going to be using Dixie Belle's Barn Red, Miss Lillian's Australian Sand, and Chocolate Kiss. I just like to use the backing of the vinyl I just took off kind of as a little palette here. So I'm going to take some Dixie Belle's nope, sorry, that's Miss Lillian's Barn Red and some Dixie Belle's Chocolate Kiss. We're going to mix those together here in a minute, and then some Miss Lillian's Australian Sand. I'm going to grab 2 separate paint brushes for this step, one for the Barn Red and Chocolate Kiss, and we are going to mix that together until we get a little bit deeper of a red for our base color of our glitter. I am using a translucent color and the red was just a little bit too red. Then we're taking our separate paintbrush and we're going to go around carefully on the untaped portion and follow that curve with the Australian Sand, but we are going to leave about 1/4 of an inch on the top and bottom rim of the tumbler as we are going to paint that with our red mixture. As you can see on the taped off side, I don't have to be quite as precise with my paint. So if you are more comfortable taping off, feel free to do so. Now we are going to take our red mixture and paint the bottom of the tumbler and just about a little bit bigger than 1/4 inch down on the rim or the base of the tumbler, and then around the top rim of the tumbler as well. We are going to let this paint dry and then come back and add one more layer just to ensure we have a good base coat for our glitter, and we're also going to blend it out just a tad. Now we are going to go back in with our Australian sand paint and we're going to add a little bit thicker of a layer to make sure this paint stays wet for blending. So get that base coated on the bottom and then grab your other mixture of red, recoating the bottom and that little rim we left there. And then to blend that in, just take one of your paintbrushes, either the red one or the one with Australian sand, and just bring one of the paint colors. I chose the red since there's just such a little bit there, and just make your brush go back and forth until you get a nice soft blend. Paint the top section of your tumbler in the exact same way we did the base, and then set your tumbler to the side to let that paint dry. Now I try to use the epoxy method any chance I get. I just think it adheres the glitter the best and gives off the most sparkly result. And that's why we use glitter, right? We love the sparkles. So I'm just going to wipe a little bit on the top and bottom section. Now I will say there is only a teeny tiny little, I wouldn't say teeny tiny, but a small section right there that you are going to remove of the template. So you don't want to get your epoxy too high up on the pattern vinyl there, so just be super careful. This is when that tape would come in handy. You can be a little bit messier. We're going to apply our epoxy on the top and bottom, and then we are going to be using the color Poppy and this beautiful kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a beigey tan light gold glitter. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's called Caramel Latte, and I just feel like everybody has to have it in their glitter collection. Taking the glitter color poppy first, we're going to base coat the bottom of our tumbler and about 1/4 of an inch up off that rim on the top and bottom. Then we are going to take that beautiful caramel latte color and we are going to go from the curved template about 2/3 of the way down, not quite to the poppy color. We actually want a gap there so we can blend it out. As you can see, I left a space between the poppy and the caramel latte, and that is going to be our working area to make a beautiful blended ombre here. So I am going back with poppy, and I'm just holding my tumbler at an angle, and then I'm just going to gently turn it and tap my glitter at the same time. We are not looking for full coverage right now. Right now, you just want to do a little bit of sprinkles here and there, and then we're going to go and tip the tumbler the opposite way and take the caramel latte and do the exact same thing. I like to go back and forth with this technique until I get a beautiful blended ombre. Once you get your beautiful ombre all finished, we're going to remove the next section of our template while that epoxy is still wet. Like I said before, on this template, there is about maybe a 1/2 inch smaller section right below our glitter. Also, if you taped it off, you're going to want to remember to remove that as well. Set this tumbler to the side to cure for about a couple hours, and then we will go on to our next glittering step. Now that we will be glittering a much smaller section, we are not going to use epoxy. We are just going to mix a little bit of our chalk paint. I'm just using, I think it's just Kelly Green, and some Color Flexes glitter glue. This is my favorite glitter glue. It kind of acts more like an epoxy. It's kind of slipperier than Mod Podge, but you can also use Mod Podge as well. I do about a 50-50% ratio, and then we are going to take our tumbler and paint those sections of stainless steel, and then while that glitter glue and that paint mixture is still wet, we're going to sprinkle on the color What the Elf. Paint and glitter both the top and bottom section until your tumbler looks like this. You're going to let that glitter glue completely dry and then take and spray seal the top and bottom sections of your glitter. I like Krylon or Rust-Oleum's triple thick. I usually do about 2 pretty heavy coats. And then once your triple thick is all cured, we're going to add a layer of epoxy. Once your epoxy has cured, you're going to cut out 4 thin stripes of the color of your choice. I went with this one. It's actually kind of like a metallic copper, and we're going to just take it and place it above and below each green section. This is really simple. When your vinyl is cut thin enough, it actually is given a little bit of a stretch, so it goes around those curves absolutely perfectly. Now it's time to add our decal. I chose this one from my shop that says Baking Spirits Bright with these 2 cute little gingerbread men because I just thought it was so fitting for the vinyl that I chose. Once you have that decal applied, just remove the transfer tape and your tumbler is ready for its final coat of epoxy. And here is our tumbler all finished. I didn't realize this when I was making it, but as I was just showing it here at the end, I didn't realize how cute it was, that it kind of reminds me of a baked cookie. You know how it gets kind of more golden on the edges and then golden brown in the middle. And I just think that turned out so cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. And don't forget to look for me on all other social media platforms.